That's a stupid idea. What are you talking about, you idiots? Pharmaceutical companies spend a lot of money on research, and the search for new drugs can be like throwing good money after bad. From compound discovery and research to clinical development and approval, it can take a full 12 years to get a drug to market. But even with all that time and all that money spent, with patent protection in place, the pharmaceutical company can now make a killing. But what happens when the patent expires? That's when generics start getting produced and the profit tap for the pharmaceutical company gets well and truly turned off. Hopefully the pharmaceutical company in question has a good pipeline of upcoming drugs, and they've got new blockbuster drugs just waiting for approval, which can then come out and fill the gap. And this cycle continues. New drug, get a patent, get approval, make a killing, generics come in. But what happens if a pharmaceutical company doesn't have any new drugs in the pipeline? Once the patent expires on that blockbuster drug, what do? It's time to talk about the ingenious way pharmaceutical companies can just print money despite not having any new drugs coming to market. And just before we get into it, I want to tell you about some blockbuster drugs that I'm addicted to. These drugs are called the like and subscribe buttons. And in order to get my daily fix, I need to get as many clicks as possible. So if you wouldn't mind, please give the like button a smash. And if you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. And I'll just sit here and wait for that dopamine release. While I'm waiting, let's get into it. To bring a drug to market, Big Pharma has to go through a long development, testing and approval process. And at any time in that development of the new drug, things can be disrupted. Problems with development, surprise side effects during the testing process, problems with approval. Any of these things can put a stop to development. And for the pharmaceutical companies, this means that billions of dollars just evaporate. So it's important for Big Pharma to do everything right in order to get their drugs approved in the most efficient way possible. Once it's approved, that drug is still under patent, and that is going to be a gold mine for the pharmaceutical companies. The patents last for 20 years, but if the drug took 12 years to get to market, that means the pharmaceutical company only has 8 years to make a killing. And so this makes the drug company's pipeline even more important. There always need to be new drugs in development. But what if they just have no candidates? What is a big drug company to do? Well, they could quickly discover a new drug, which is impossible with all the development and testing that needs to take place. Or they could take the drug whose patent is about to expire and discover something new about it. And with this new thing, they might be able to get a new patent. And as crazy as this seems, it has happened. Let's first examine how this would play out if Big Pharma built airplanes. After that, I'll come back and we'll discuss the exact situation where this happened with a drug company. G'day Bruce, thanks for joining the monthly Pharma Airlines management meeting. Yeah, no worries Bruce, glad to be here. Where are the others? Always late. Hey fellas, how you doing? Pretty good. What's the name of that new Sheila? I'm not sure if she's a Sheila. Shh, she's coming. Hey, g'day, how are ya? Is my sound on? We can hear you loud and clear. I'm Bruce, this is Bruce, and that's Bruce. What's your name? Bellshine. Well, that's going to be a bit confusing. Mind if we call you Bruce to keep it clear? My name's Bellshine, not Bruce Shine. You've got to deal with that, buddy. What's this meeting about? We need to come up with some ideas. Bruce, you're the ideas man. Me? No, the other Bruce. Ideas for what? The patent is expiring on our Pharma 10 airliner and we need to build something new if we're going to stay in business. We need ideas. Yeah, Airbus and Boeing are already planning on making generic Pharma 10s. Don't we have more serious issues to address, gentlemen? Like what? The patriarchy for one. I'm tired of all this oppression. What oppression? See, there you go immediately, questioning my feelings. It's just non-stop oppression. Anyway, we need to come up with ideas to build a new airliner or we're in trouble. What about a bus? What are you talking about? We're an airline, mate. I know, but if we come out with a bus, no one will be expecting it. You're right. What do we need to do to get a new patent? We have to design something significantly different. Something no one has ever thought of before. It's going to take years and billions of dollars for this. What if we just change something about our existing planes? Like what? New paint job? No, it has to be something no one's ever done before. How about say no to the patriarchy signs posted inside the plane? Who hired this Bruce Shine Sheila? Anyway, what are we going to do? What if we remove the ashtrays? What's that going to do? Hear me out. The ashtrays aren't getting used anyway. Say we designed the first airplane that supports the passenger who's trying to give up smoking. They just don't have that empty ashtray next to them looking at them going, come on, you want a cigarette? Awesome idea. We'll get a new patent and our media image will be all warm and fuzzy. That's a stupid idea. What are you talking about, you idiots? Let's just put the seats in the opposite direction. We'll get a patent for that. Facing the tail. Of course. What do we say it's for in the patent application? It helps people so they don't get travel sick. Nice. We should probably keep the pilot seat facing the original way. So the true story about the drug company suddenly discovering these new properties of an existing drug whose patent was about to expire is a company you've probably heard of, AstraZeneca. In 1989, AstraZeneca won approval to sell a drug called Prilosec in the US. Prilosec was a drug for treating indigestion and heartburn. And in marketing, Prilosec is known as the purple pill. And it sold really well. And in the late 1990s, AstraZeneca realized the patent was about to expire for Prilosec, and they didn't have any drugs in the pipeline. This meant from 2001, AstraZeneca's profits were set to plummet. So AstraZeneca came up with a new purple pill called Nexium. And I'll let you in on a little secret. The new purple pill was actually the old purple pill with a couple of changes. They hadn't invented a new drug. They'd just changed the composition of an old one. They'd moved the atoms around. And they marketed this as an improved version that would do more to prevent some very specific indigestion types. And the marketing focused on how it was as good as Prilosec, but it did these extra things that no generics would ever be able to do. And then they applied for a new patent and crossed their fingers. And despite pushback from the Bush administration at the time, they eventually got their patent approved. And that patent lasted until 2015. And remember, they didn't have that long development process that they needed to go to. So they had most of the patent protection period to use to make a killing with this new drug. Now I know about this particular case because there's a Harvard Business Review case study about it. We used to use it in training sessions with drug companies. So I've left some links in the description to some further reading about this if you're interested. And according to some of the reading that I've done, this is pretty much common practice with pharmaceutical companies. I hope this has been interesting and informative for you, and I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Thanks for watching, guys. Don't forget to click like and subscribe, and I'm looking forward to seeing you in the next video.